All right, trade pros, good morning. Welcome to the morning market update for Monday, October the 22nd. All right, 22nd. I'm just checking what day it is. Good morning, guys. I had pretty terrible sleep last night. I don't know what it was, but anywho, so if you notice a little bit of a lack of energy, that could be why. If you don't notice anything, then forget I said anything. All right, hope you had a great weekend. We're starting off a new trading week, and we got some opportunities coming up. In today's morning market update, I talked about the Chinese markets and how they rebounded a little bit, as well as an overview of some key markets and the economic calendar for the rest of the week. And that's it. I don't really have anything to talk to you about. Nothing major happened over the weekend. No massive news, no developments. Actually, there is big developments this Tuesday, but we already talked about this market analysis live, but I will mention it here as well. This Tuesday coming up, Turkish president is gonna hang on. Turkish president's gonna release information about the Saudi Arabia involvement with the Khashoggi murder inside the consulate, the Saudi Arabia consulate in Istanbul. So we're gonna hear some news about that. Other than that, though, not much. Nothing massive moving the markets. Early on here in the session in Asia, Japan's up 0.4%. Hong Kong's up not 2/3. It's up 2.3%. All right. China's up 4.1% in one freaking day. All right. India's down 0.5%. So the reason the Shanghai Composite closed so high up is that it's actually on track for its best day since March of 2016. Its single best day in the Asian equities, especially for the Shanghai. All right. The Chinese government vowed to step in and help support the markets. And also they mentioned that they didn't just mention, they released a plan to cut personal income taxes. So tax cuts have led to a lot of upside in the United States. Donald Trump's administration released a tax cut, and it really helped push the markets further up, or helped the market rally. All right. Same thing just happened in China. It was a little bit of a surprise, and that's helped spur some economic activity and some more speculation. So equity markets are up 4%. The president of China said that he's going to provide unwavering support for non-state firms over the weekend, meaning that he's not going to just support the governmental institutions. He's going to provide capital and whatever is needed to support outside institutions as well that are doing business. That's pretty much saying that I'm going to support my economy. I got your back. Don't worry about it. So there's a little bit of a relief rally. 4% sounds like a lot, but China's still down about 20%. They're still officially and technically in a bearish market territory. So it's just a little bit of a relief rally. That relief rally we're also seeing in the United States, seeing a little bit of a bounce back after being down about 15 handles on the open of Globex last night in the S&P 500 futures. And the reason we're down, Donald Trump, a report actually from Axios, which is a company, released a report saying that Donald Trump and president of China are not going to talk, or are not looking to push forward any kind of negotiations. They're just going to continue the trade war, and Donald Trump wants them to feel more pressure. That's kind of what the article said. And so that wasn't very helpful to the market, and we sold off 15 handles. We've since recovered. We're seeing some upside, but as you can see on this main chart, as we head into the U.S. Open, now we're getting ready for a sell-off. So, these markets ebb and they flow. We're pretty close to the lows from not last week, but the week before that, the massive sell-off low. And I have a feeling we're going to test it at some point this week. I have a feeling we're going for it. All right. Europe at midday, London's up 0.7%, Paris up 0.3%, Frankfurt up 0.5 percentage point. S&P 500 is up 0.3%, Dow's up 0.3%, Nasdaq's up 0.6%. We've lost some of that momentum since. However, so I turned my back to the broadcast. Crude oil is up slightly. Gold's flat, Bitcoin's flat, and we're starting the week on a pretty slow note. 10-year Treasury yield at 3.2%. No real massive news on the economic calendar today, but there is some news for the rest of the week, so let's cover it. Tomorrow, we're getting the Bank of England Governor Mark Carney to speak at 11:20 a.m. He was formerly the Bank of Canada governor, and he is going to speak at 11:20 in the morning, so right before the European equities close. On Wednesday, we have the Bank of Canada monetary policy report, the rate statement, and the overnight rate happening at 10 a.m. This is the equivalent to the Federal Reserve's FOMC meeting minutes and meetings as a whole. They're quarterly meetings where they raise rates and then do a Q&A session. That happens at 10 a.m. Look for volatility on Wednesday around the Canadian dollar and commodities as well, primarily oil. that could have a little bit of impact on it. Bank of Canada press conference, 11:15 a.m., hour and 15 minutes after the initial announce. We are expecting an interest rate hike of 0.25% to 1.75. So there's that volatility on Wednesday. Thursday, we have the core durable goods orders out of the United States, and that's at 8:30 in the morning before the opening bell. And also on Thursday, we have early on, 7:45, we have the European main refinancing rate and the ECB press conference at 8:30 as well. So there's going to be a lot of volatility on Wednesday around the Canadian dollar, Thursday around the euro and the USD pair. And then on Friday, we see one of the most important reports of all week, the advanced GDP, the gross domestic product quarter to quarter for the United States, expectation at 3.3%. It's the first and the earliest look at the quarterly GDP. So traders will be watching that at 8:30 in the morning on Friday, 10 a.m. Draghi speaks. You can see there's not that many key events. They're not super important. Of those, I'd say the GDP is the most important in the U.S. and Bank of Canada's rate statement is the most important to Canada, obviously. So slower week ahead of us, slower start to the week. Today, you're looking at just following technicals. Let's see if this sell-off has some real volume. If volume starts moving into the sell side, look to sell rallies. If volume is weak and thin, look to start buying those dips to qualify something longer for the day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. That's all I got for you today. And I'll talk to you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Manage your risk trade with TRADEPRO. Thank you and goodbye. All right, Trade Pros. Thank you, Marky.